the home of the Rockets in wonderful Houston, Texas. While we've got a chance here, let's now take a look at the starting lineups, sponsored by State Farm. Someone will be keeping an eye on JaVale McGee.
You know, it seems that McGee has been on the highlight reel night after night since the day he got...
And Doris Burke spoke with George Carl. Doris?
He said he certainly followed the rise of Jeremy Lin into a prime-time point guard in this league, and he told me we need to try to limit his penetration. That's where he's most effective, slashing and with the drive and kick. Guys, Lin has certainly been working to improve his outside shot, but sometimes you have to pick your poison, and they'll live with him shooting from outside. Back to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. And the Rockets making a change here. Douglas is checked in. Here's Miracle Man. Launches it. And it's White with the rebound.
It's clear they had one thing on their mind when they came out of the gate today. Rebound.
Yeah, and they've opened up the game with a pretty good margin in that area. Great sign for this club. Tell you what, things just aren't bouncing his way this quarter.
You know, I think a lot of players, Kevin, should look at what Jeremy Lin's been doing in the offseason and take a few notes. I mean, not just basketball work, but advanced training targeted to improve his speed, agility, and leaping ability. Becoming a better athlete in addition to becoming a better basketball player going forward.
Pass to White. Feeds to Douglas. Takes a three, and that one's good. Douglas has got himself on the board with three there.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
And Clark, you mentioned Jeremy Lin's work on his athleticism, and the Knicks said when they tested his agility after bringing him in that it was off the charts. Better than anyone had ever tested, they said. Steve, I find that kind of hard to believe, but that's what they say.
Yeah, well, Lin obviously came a long way from when he came out of Harvard in the draft, because he really didn't test that well at that time. But he's worked so hard, got himself in unbelievable condition, and also has a lot to prove. Everybody predicted he would fail, and he's proven them wrong. And a great start offensively.
Yeah, they've come out strong. I mean, really scoring and playing with confidence.
Here's Miracle Man looking to end the run. They get it again. Iguodala kicks to Mozgov. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Iguodala's got his fourth assist in this one. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off a good outing against the Trailblazers.
I was so impressed the way they hung in there in that game against a very tough opponent, and they got the victory.
You know, Steve, when the margin was just a few points going into crunch time, winning time, I've got to admit, I was a little surprised they were able to find a way to pull it out.
Here's White. Slams it on the run.
No time wasted getting back off the ground when he got his hands on the ball. I like that quickness of jump.
And that's the idea, right? You know, take it back up strong.
Yeah, of course. I mean, no reason to hold on to it any longer than you have to.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Marcus Morris is checked in for Jawan Johnson. Delfino comes in for Gary Forbes. And it's Martin in for Tony Douglas. Excellent use of the screen that time. Miracle Man's got 6.
That's now 6 straight points off open threes. Get a hand up, fellas. Pay attention to the scouting report.
Well, you know how quickly things can go south when you start giving up wide open looks to this team.
Delfino dishes to Morris. Rebound by the Nuggets. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season.
Well, these teams were very similar in a lot of ways last year, especially in the standings. But they were able to take the season series from them. Nice touch near the hoop.
Rockets leading by 3. Delfino kicks to Martin. He feeds it to White. Back to Martin. And that one's good. 13 points in the game. Yeah, they were two pretty decent teams last season. Clark, as Steve just made mention of, their regular season matchups were interesting.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, but they had an advantage in just a few critical areas that gave them the upper hand. They did a good job of winning the majority of those games.
And right now, he can do no wrong. Everything's working for him this quarter.
They set the pick. Here's Lin. And it's Randolph with the rebound.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Can't hit. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Lynn with the ball. Martin the pass to Lynn. All alone. And he knocks down the jumper. Lynn's got his third basket of the night right there. Here's Miracle Man. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Rockets ahead, up 5. Stay with
the Nugget.
Next Sunday, LeBron James and the Miami Heat go on the road to battle the Memphis Grizzlies.
Here's Miracle Man. He's coming off a 34-point game against Detroit. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Gallinari kicks to Fournier. Shot clock at 5. Mozgov straight up. Drops in the layup for 2.
Denver right now is a collection of very good players, but they don't have a star anymore now that Carmelo is gone. You always wonder how a team is going to fare, particularly in the playoffs, when they don't have one guy who they can go to for a basket or a trip to the free throw line.
Jeremy Lin and Kevin Martin manning the back. Juwan Johnson out there with the Sheik, and it's Parsons in at the small forward. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Back to Martin from downtown. Another miss by Martin. Well, as good as Denver might be, as you were saying, Steve, you do need to have that go-to player to get, some good points in crunch time. Clark, you've already alluded to that.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff. There's the dish to Gallinari. The Nuggets moving the ball around. Mozgov dishes to Gallinari. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Parsons got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
You know what I love about George Karl is that he always seems to make sense out of chaos. Anywhere he's been where there's been some unrest with the players, where there's been conflicting personalities, it hasn't seemed to matter. He's made it work, and he's turned every team into a winner.
Lynn kicks to Eschi.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Not the guy you want to see taking too many free throws. Last season, his numbers among the worst in the league.
And with his free throw percentage being where it was last season, it changed the way teams defended him. There were no easy baskets. He was going to get fouled anytime he got near the rim. They were going to make him earn his points at the line.
Here's Miller. They get the rebound. A nice shot by Koufos.
He will fight you down low, guys. Really battles in there. He comes up with a lot of second chance buckets.
Ball's knocked loose. Outside Randolph. There's the triple.
You were picked as the winner of the Jordan Player of the Game tonight. That has to be a pretty special honor for someone like you.
Sure, I guess. I mean, it's nice to know my play doesn't go unrecognized. Beyond that, I don't really know what else to say. I'm glad we got the win, and I hope I did the guys at Jordan Brand proud. Maybe? I don't know, man. I'm not very good at this stuff. Good win tonight, though. Good win.
The Western Conference contest on their hands as they prepare to defend home court. Welcome to the Pepsi Center in Denver. Here are your starting lineups brought to you by State Farm. And as we take a long look here at Andre Miller, guys, what's your take?
Well, Miller is a great passer, wonderful assist-to-turnover ratio.
I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, I had a chance to speak with head coach Tyrone Corbin. I asked him what players he was really eyeing on the scouting report, and he said one that might surprise you, Kenneth Faried. He said he plays with so much energy and effort. He really sets the bar for the rest of the team. If we can limit his impact on the game, I think it'll really be to our advantage. Guys, an interesting take. We'll see if they can slow his roll.
All right, Doris.
You know, Kevin, the Northwest was just a tough division last year, and a lot of times that can eat up a young team that's in rebuilding mode like the Jazz, but they not only held their own, I thought they flourished at times.
I agree. Kicks it to Gallinari. Over Millsap. And it's Randy Foye with the rebound. And Fareed kicks to McGee. On the wing, Iguodala. The feet to McGee. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. While we have a chance, let's take a look at the teams that led the NBA in rebounding last season. In third, the Jazz.
Yeah, it was an impressive campaign for their big men, and I thought the whole team did a really nice job of getting bodies on people and really boxing out.
And the Jazz making a change here. Williams is checked in, and there's the pass to Foye. Favors with a screen on Iguodala. Foye with it, and it's Iguodala picking him up. And Foye kicks to Williams, into Millsap. Back to Williams. Clock at 6. The Jazz with another miss. Clark flourished. They did 9-4 record with the Jazz within the division, and a big reason why, Steve, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, one thing that helps them is that they have great depth along the front line. You know, when you're young, you play hard, you play with a lot of energy, and when you can come in with waves of talent like Utah does, young talent, you know you can be pretty tough.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Mozgov, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. Randolph comes in for Kenneth Fareed. And Miller's subbed in for Gallinari. For the Utah Jazz, they come in off a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers.
That was a tough game for them to lose, guys, because they really played well throughout the game.
I agree there, but despite the result, I think they can definitely take some positives away from it.
There's Tyrone Corbin in his second season as head coach of the Jazz. Before that, he'd spent 7 years as an assistant coach in Utah.
Here's Williams. Nice jump shot from the top of the key.
It has been all offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
Take a look at Miracle Man. Not sure if you guys noticed on the way in, Nike already put him up center stage on a billboard.
Well, the Make It Count ad campaign seems to have him at the center of it. He certainly made it count in the NBA so far.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, well, he's earned this endorsement, that's for sure. I mean, Nike is getting their money's worth from this guy. He's big time.
Going back to Tyrone Corbin, 16-year journeyman career as a player in the NBA. He played for 10 teams in all, the Utah Jazz among them.
Yeah, 3 years in Utah. He was always known as kind of a grinder. You know, every coach loved him because he played so hard. And, you know, those qualities, I think, translate well to the coaching ranks. Corbin knows how hard it is to compete in the NBA, and he knows how hard it is to win. And so he's trying to put his guys in the best position to have success, and I think they really respect him for that. And total domination on the glass by them so far.
Well, the anticipation has been outstanding, exquisite. I mean, it seems like they've got an extra sense as to know where the ball is coming off.
Right from the get-go, they've been shooting the ball extremely well.
Well, I think it's a matter of just continuing to knock down shots like that. They'll get the W here, no question about it.
Williams passes to Cantor. The jump hook gets it to go.
It's been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
And that one's good. Miracle Man's got his second basket of the night.
Hey, they might have to make a defensive adjustment. They can't give him that kind of a look from beyond the arc.
Big group substitution here for Denver. JaVale McGee's checked in for Mozgov. Kenneth Fareed comes in for Anthony Randolph. Gallinari, he's checked in for Miller. And Fournier subbed in for Andre Iguodala. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Paul Millsap's checked in for Favors. Bell comes in for Marvin Williams. Randy Foye, he's checked in for Alec Burks. And Mo Williams subbed in for Jamal Tinsley.
Very porous defense down there by the hoop. He probably should make that one.
Here's Bell. Tries again. And it's Foye missing.
He's certainly not been at his best this quarter. And that's an understatement.
Gallinari dishes to McGee.
Guys, he's going to have to be careful here. You don't want to pick up your third foul in the first quarter.
Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
You know, guys, I thought one of the most interesting trades that occurred last year was Denver sending Nene to Washington for JaVale McGee, because the Nuggets had just signed Nene to a big deal in free agency over the summer. So a little bit of a change of heart there.
Andre Iguodala is checked in for the Nuggets. Well, you look back at the reasons the Nuggets traded Nene and made that move. I think they just felt Clark, he wasn't quite living up to the contract.
You know what? It was definitely an interesting move to have such a quick change of heart after signing him to a pretty lengthy deal in free agency, Kevin, but it seemed to work out for him as JaVale McGee was a better fit for their style of play and really helped them down the stretch.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The dish to Foy. Shoots. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Foy's got 5 now.
He gets another one. That's only his second make in 7 attempts, so a little bit of a struggle here to start.
Here's Miracle Man. Good!
What a way to close the quarter. Huge 3 right there.
Yeah, and that's a deflator for the other team.
Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Nuggets lead by 5.
Next Sunday, DeMarcus Cousins and the Sacramento Kings hit the road for a duel with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a Pacific Division showdown. It's the
And the first quarter is in the book, and the Jazz making a change here. Looking at Denver, they got their last win against the Rockets in Houston.
And what a terrific game for their role players, guys. They had players coming off the bench and chipping in offensively.
Yeah, and it was an unexpected boost, but a big one nonetheless. I mean, they didn't miss a beat. No matter what unit was on the floor, things were being done effectively.
So with Iguodala sitting on the bench, here's the group that George Karl has on the floor. Miracle Man, he's in at point guard. Quincy Miller out there with Randolph. Then it's Mozgov, and it's Miller in at the shooting guard position.
Solid advantage in the rebounding totals for them so far here.
You know, in every game, but particularly in a close game, every little advantage you can use helps, and they're certainly enjoying one on the glass here.
And it's out of bounds. The Nuggets able to retain possession here.
Well, let's look back to last year's Nuggets while we've got a moment here, Kevin. Tops in scoring, first in assists, and they were number 2 in field goal percentage. This is a team that got good shots on a regular basis and knocked them down.
But when you get down to it, I mean, the identity of this club is that they score the ball. Number 1 in the league. They have so many ways to hurt you, and that seems to inspire them with confidence every single game.
Here's Miracle Man. Tinsley covering. Randolph backs in. 2 on the clock. Here's Miracle Man. Bangs home the trifecta. Miracle Man's got 12.
6 points in short order. 2 straight from deep. That's what can happen with the 3 ball.
Yep, they've got it going. Nice, clean looks.
Here's Jefferson. That one goes. Count it. Jefferson's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, not only does he excel at getting those offensive rebounds, but he's really good getting putbacks and layups off of those boards.
Mozgov backing down. Second shot opportunity, and it's Randolph getting it to go. Randolph's got his first 2 points of the night.
Textbook offensive rebounding right there. I love that. Those putbacks are buckets any team loves to get.
Foy with it. He's against Miller. They get it back. Outside Jefferson. Here's Favors. Rejected by Randolph. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And Miller backs down. Over Foy. And there's another one for the Nuggets.
He shouldn't be afraid to take that shot more often. He's solid from there.
Jazz trailed by 7. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Here's Tinsley. Passes it to Foy. He feeds it to Favors. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline. Voigt kicks to Williams. Dishes it to Williams. He kicks to Ford. Beyond the arc. They get it back. Williams passes to Williams. Back to Williams. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Williams has got 6 points.
Good work turning that into an easy 2-point. He can attack the rim as well as anybody.
Mo Williams, a former second-round pick out of Alabama. He's had a really nice career when you think about it. Excellent shooter. So he's pretty good from mid-range and beyond.
Randy Foye is on the way. Feeds it to Bell. He dishes it to Ford. And that's a foul called on Gallinari. That's his first foul. Miller's checked in for Gallinari. There's a screen. And Voigt kicks to Bell. Williams for the three. Denver grabs the miss. McGee's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
And guys, you talk about a player like Mo Williams. Star players love a guy who can spread the floor for him. In other words, a guy who can knock down perimeter shots, whose defenders can't help off of him. And when you have a guy like Mo Williams who can shoot it that way, he's always enjoyable to play with. And not much resistance on that jam.
Yeah, defensively, you're right. Not a great sequence.
Well, they lost track of him, and they paid the price.
To JaVale McGee. That's good. McGee's got 10 points in the game.
Well, after a slow first quarter, he's starting to pick it up a bit here.
Williams kicks to Foye. Takes it up. Pass to Bell. Outside Williams. The Jazz working the ball around now. Kicks it to Foye. Over for Reed. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
Well, last year's season series between them was a battle of 2 of the NBA's mid-level teams, and they didn't get the better of it.
He's a bit short for the power forward spot, but his great leaping ability more than makes up for it.
Cannot hit. The Jazz go the other way with it. These guys were a tough opponent for them last year, Clark, like Steve was just saying.
Yeah, when you're so evenly matched with the team, Kevin, it doesn't make you feel that good to have dropped most of your games against them because you feel like you should at least win some of the games you play against this team.
Here's Miracle Man. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. Iguodala's got 3 assists tonight.
He's looking to have a big game. He did a solid job in the first, but is building on that now here in the second.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Kufis checked in for JaVale McGee. Randolph comes in for Miller. And Corey Brewer's subbed in for Andre Iguodala. And Utah with a change here, too. Jamal Tinsley's checked in for Randy Foye. Here's Williams, and the basket good. Williams has got his second bucket. The Nuggets leading by 6.
You know, for Denver, the Northwest Division was very tough to play in last year. I mean, facing their division peers, the Nuggets were just 6 and 7 within the division.
Williams, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you have to love watching him play, Kevin. He goes out night in and night out with the belief that he can make any play possible. He's got that tremendous confidence, and he's fearless late in games. Tries to get the defender back on their heels and then rise up and shoot over the top.
And the other thing about Mo is if he gets a few to drop early, you're going to be in trouble all game long. I mean, he doesn't need much time or space to get that hot hand firing. And if you don't get in his face early, he can hurt you.
Gallinari, he's checked in for Denver. Gordon Hayward's checked in for the Jazz. Favors with the screen. Inside. Up with it. Williams' shot is off. And back to Denver. 6 and 7 isn't terrible, but from their perspective, they were the only team to make the playoffs last season and have a losing record within their division. But Steve, as Clark was just talking about, their division was pretty tough.
Yeah, very difficult division to play in, but I thought Denver held up pretty well. And overall, it was a pretty solid season for the Nuggets. They had plenty of injuries. They had a lot of turnover roster-wise. Had a couple players playing in China. during the lockout who had to stay over there. And George Karl was, once again, able to make it work.
Here's Mozgov. From 13 feet, it goes down. And the Nuggets lead by 6.
You know, role players can make big differences in games, and he's showing he can get it done out there.
Here's Tinsley. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Inside to Favors. He passes it to Williams. Shot clock at 6. Here's Hayward. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
And stolen by Williams. No good. And so we conclude the first half. The Nuggets on top. They lead by 6. From the Pepsi Center in downtown Denver, we're back in a moment.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Thanks for joining us at halftime. We got a terrific game going on at Pepsi Center. The Denver Nuggets have the lead against Utah. They've come out of the gates strong to start, looking to keep going. Everything going right for Miracle Man. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. And for the Jazz, it's been all hustle. Great energy and aggression offensively, making their own luck with a lot of second-chance points. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, take it away.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back. The feed now to Gallinari. The pass to McGee. Back to Gallinari. For the tie, rejected by Favors.
They're struggling here. They're just 1 of 5 to start this third quarter. They've got to loosen up here.
Taking a look at the Jazz. Down low, Paul Millsap and Derek Favors. Mo Williams out there with Foy, and it's Bell in at the 3. Here's Miracle Man. Takes a
Well, you finished with 30 points. How much of your performance felt like it was a result of the matchup versus just having the hot hand?
I think it's mostly just me having a good game. I feel like when I'm in a good rhythm, I can get mine no matter who's on the other end. The bigger issue is that we weren't able to translate that into a win. Getting those points don't make me feel any better knowing that the team lost. I'd rather have 10 in the W than 30 in a big fat L. You feel me?